Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Any object of warm affection or devotion. He has a passion for cockfighting. A strong feeling or emotion. Something that is desired intensely. The suffering of Jesus at the crucifixion. The trait of being intensely emotional. An irrational but irresistible motive for a belief or action. A feeling of strong sexual desire. Sexual activities, often including sexual intercourse between two people. His lovemaking disgusted her. Any object of warm affection or devotion. The theater was her first love. A beloved person, used as terms of endearment. Get pleasure from. I love cooking. Have sexual intercourse with. A deep feeling of sexual desire and attraction. Their love left them indifferent to their surroundings. A score of 0 in tennis or squash. It was 40 love. A strong positive emotion of regard and affection. His love for his work. Be enamored or in love with. She loves her husband deeply. Have a great affection or liking for. I love French food. A strong feeling or emotion. Something that is desired intensely. His rage for fame destroyed him. Behave violently, as if in state of a great anger. An interest followed with exaggerated zeal. It was all the rage that season. A feeling of intense anger. His face turned red with rage. A state of extreme anger. She fell into a rage and refused to answer. Be violent, as of fires and storms. Feel intense anger. Violent state of the elements. The sea hurled itself in thundering rage against the rocks. The suffering of Jesus at the crucifixion. Gain heat or get hot. The room heated up quickly. Make hot or hotter. The sun heats the oceans. The sensation caused by heat energy. Arouse or excite feelings and passions. Utility to warm a building. The heating system wasn't working. The trait of being intensely emotional. A form of energy that is transferred by a difference in temperature. The presence of heat. Applies to non-human mammals, a state or period of heightened sexual arousal and activity. A preliminary race in which the winner advances to a more important race. Provide with heat. Heat the house. A quality proceeding from feelings of affection or love. The sensation caused by heat energy. A warm-hearted feeling. The trait of being intensely emotional. The quality of having a moderate degree of heat. An agreeable warmth in the house. An irrational but irresistible motive for a belief or action. A mood disorder. An affective disorder in which the victim tends to respond excessively and sometimes violently. An irrational but irresistible motive for a belief or action. The goal intended to be attained, and which is believed to be attainable. The sole object of her trip was to see her children. A tangible and visible entity. An entity that can cast a shadow. It was full of rackets, balls and other objects. Be averse to or express disapproval of. My wife objects to modern furniture. Computing. A discrete item that provides a description of virtually anything known to a computer. In object-oriented programming, objects include data and define its status, its methods of operation and how it interacts with other objects. Express or raise an objection or protest or criticism or express dissent. She never objected to the amount of work her boss charged her with. Grammar. A constituent that is acted upon. The object of the verb. The focus of cognitions or feelings. Objects of thought. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. An intuitive understanding of something. He had a great feeling for music. A vague idea in which some confidence is placed. What are your feelings about the crisis? The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. The surface had a greasy feeling. A physical sensation that you experience. He had a queasy feeling. The experiencing of affective and emotional states. She had a feeling of euphoria. Expect and wish. Feel or have a desire for, want strongly. An inclination to want things. A man of many desires. Express a desire for. Something that is desired. The feeling that accompanies an unsatisfied state. Intense feelings of suffering. Acute mental or physical pain. An agony of doubt. A state of acute pain. Feelings of mental or physical pain. Psychological suffering. Misery resulting from affliction. Very unhappy, full of misery. A message of hope for suffering humanity. A state of acute pain. Troubled by pain or loss. Suffering refugees. The infliction of extremely painful punishment or suffering. A state of acute pain. Emotional nature or quality. Emotional nature or quality. A motivation that is inconsistent with reason or logic. A desire for sexual intimacy. Greek mythology, god of love, son of Aphrodite, identified with Roman Cupid. A desire for sexual intimacy. A desire for sexual intimacy. A desire for sexual intimacy. Call forth emotions, feelings, and responses. Provide with fuel. Oil fires the furnace. Start firing a weapon. Go off or discharge. The gun fired. The process of combustion of inflammable materials producing heat and light and, often, smoke. Fire was one of our ancestors' first discoveries. Start or maintain a fire in. Fire the furnace. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. Become ignited. The furnace wouldn't fire. The act of firing weapons or artillery at an enemy. Hold your fire until you can see the whites of their eyes. Intense adverse criticism. Clinton directed his fire at the Republican Party. Terminate the employment of. Discharge from an office or position. The boss fired his secretary today. Cuz to go off. Fire a gun. Destroy by fire. A fireplace in which a relatively small fire is burning. They sat by the fire and talked. A severe trial. He went through fire and damnation. Bake in a kiln so as to harden. Fire pottery. Drive out or away by or as if by fire. The soldiers were fired. Fuel that is burning and is used as a means for cooking. Put the kettle on the fire. Generate an electrical impulse. The neurons fired fast. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The event of something burning, often destructive. They lost everything in the fire. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. He spoke with great ardor. A feeling of strong eagerness, usually in favor of a person or cause. They were imbued with a revolutionary ardor. Intense feeling of love. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. A feeling of strong eagerness, usually in favor of a person or cause. Intense feeling of love. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. The state of being emotionally aroused and worked up. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. The state of being emotionally aroused and worked up. Feelings of great warmth and intensity. A feeling of extreme emotional intensity. Leave behind empty. Move out of. Stop maintaining or insisting on, of ideas or claims. He abandoned the thought of asking for her hand in marriage. Leave someone who needs or counts on you. Leave in the lurch. The trait of lacking restraint or control. Reckless freedom from inhibition or worry. She danced with abandon. Give up with the intent of never claiming again. Forsake, leave behind. We abandoned the old car in the empty parking lot. Temporary love of an adolescent. A foolish and usually extravagant passion or love or admiration. An object of extravagant short-lived passion.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.